Hello friends, wishing you a very happy new year. Welcome back, and if you are new to our channel, thank you for stopping by. Today I have an easy knitting pattern for which we need stitches in the multiple of 4. So I have taken 24 stitches and it is a 4-row pattern. Casting 24 stitches, I have worked 2 rows of knit. That is not the part of the pattern. Now starting off with the first row of the pattern. The edge stitch is slipped off. After that, behind 2 stitches, I pass my right needle and pull up a loop, then yarn forward and I work 2 number of purl, yarn backwards, 2 number of knit. So that is all we have to do. The needle goes behind the 2 stitches, we pull up a loop, yarn forward. I'm going to work 2 number of purl, 1 and 2, yarn backwards, 2 number of knit. So this is all we have to do in the first row of the pattern. The needle goes behind the 2 stitches, we pull up a loop, it has to be a little loose, yarn forward, 2 number of purl. This is the first row of the pattern. It is an easy pattern, perfect for the beginners, and it is just a 4-row pattern and it comes out really well, trust me. And for this pattern we need stitches in the multiple of 4, and for this sample I have taken 24 stitches. Now the needle goes behind the 2 stitches, we pull up a loop, yarn forward, 2 number of purl, 1 and 2, yarn backwards, 2 number of knit, 1 and 2. Now the last one, the needle goes behind the 2 stitches, we pull up a loop, yarn forward, that's the first purl, and this is the second purl, yarn backwards. The edge stitch is going to be a knit. So the first row of the pattern has come to an end. Moving on to the second row of the pattern, the edge stitch is slipped off. After that we are going to purl 1, and then here I am working the 2 stitches together because there was an increase in the previous row. Now I am going to work 3 number of purl, 1, 2 and another one. This makes 3. Then the 2 stitches is going to be purled together. Now again 3 number of purl, 1, 2 and 3, and the 2 stitches is going to be purled together so that our stitches return back to the previous number, that is the increase is balanced. Again the 2 stitches are purled together. After that 3 number of purl, 1, 2 and 3, and the 2 stitches are going to be purled together. So in the previous row there was an increase and now we are decreasing the extra stitches. 2 number of purl, another stitch to be purled, and now the 2 stitches are going to be purled together, and the edge stitch is also going to be a purl. So the second row of the pattern has come to an end. This is how it is looking right now. Now let's move on to the third row of the pattern. Now in this row there will be a change in the position of the pattern. In the previous pattern we had worked the pattern first and then the 2 number of knit. Here first we are going to work the 2 number of stitch, after that the pattern is done. We pulled up a loop, yarn forward, 2 number of purl, yarn backwards, 2 number of knit. Now again the needle goes behind the 2 stitches, we pull up a loop, yarn forward, 2 number of purl, 1 and 2. It's the same thing that is being repeated, just the position is being changed. That is, on top of the previous pattern we are working 2 number of knit, and on top of the previous knit we are working the pattern. There I pulled up a loop, yarn forward, 2 number of purl. This is the third row of the pattern, yarn backwards, 2 number of knit. Now again the needle goes behind the 2 stitches, I pull up a loop, yarn forward, working 2 number of purl, 1 and 2, yarn backwards, 2 number of knit on top of the previous pattern. So this is all that is happening. Here I pull up a loop, yarn forward, 2 number of purl, 1 and 2, yarn backwards, 2 number of knit, 1 and 2, and the edge stitch is going to be a knit. So the third row of the pattern has come to an end. Moving on to the fourth row of the pattern, the edge stitch is slipped off. After that, we are going to work 2 number of purl, 1 and 2. Now I am going to work another purl, and now the 2 stitches are purled together. Now again 3 number of purl, that's the third one. The 2 stitches has to be purled together to balance the stitches. Again 3 number of purl. That is going to happen all throughout this row, that is 3 number of purl, and then 2 stitches are going to be purled together. So here I am working the 2 stitches together, it's purled, and now I'll be working 3 number of purl, 1, 2, and that's the third one. Now again the 2 stitches are going to be purled together, and finally the 2 stitches are going to be a purl, and the edge stitch is going to be a purl as well. So that's the fourth row of the pattern, and the first set of pattern is complete. See how nice it is looking. And this pattern is going to look beautiful in sweaters, cardigans, jackets. Start off with the first row of the pattern again. The edge stitch is slipped off. After that, the needle goes behind the 2 stitches. I draw a loop, yarn forward, 2 number of purl, yarn backwards. Now on top of the pattern, we are going to work 2 number of knit. Here the needle goes behind the 2 stitches. We pull up a loop, yarn forward, 2 number of purl, 1 and 2, yarn backwards, 2 number of knit. That means the pattern is alternating, that is on top of the pattern the knit stitches are being formed, and on top of the knit stitches we are working the pattern. So here working 2 number of purl, yarn backwards. Now that's the pattern, so we need to work 2 number of knit. Now that's the knit. Now here we are working the pattern. A loop is pulled up, yarn forward, 2 number of purl, yarn backwards, 2 number of knit, 1 and 2. The needle goes behind the 2 stitches. We pull up a loop, yarn forward, 2 number of purl, 1 and 2, yarn backwards, 2 number of knit, 1 and 2. Now we draw a loop again from behind the 2 stitches, then yarn forward and work 2 number of purl. After that, the edge stitch is going to be a knit. So this is how our pattern is looking right now. Moving on to the second row of the pattern, the edge stitch is slipped off. After that, a purl, and now 2 stitches needs to be worked together. After that, 3 number of purl, 1, 2 and 3, and now the 2 stitches are going to be purled together. You will be able to identify easily which stitches needs to be worked together because they are huddled up together. So that's the stitch which has to be purled together. Now 3 number of purl, 1, 2 and 3, and those 2 stitches needs to be purled together. Again 3 number of purl, 1, 2 and 3, and the 2 stitches are going to be purled together. Again the 3 stitches are being worked together, 1, 2 and 3, and the 2 stitches are going to be purled together, and the edge stitch is also going to be a purl. So the second row of the pattern has come to an end. See how beautiful the pattern is looking. Easy pattern, yet a beautiful one. Moving on to the third row of the pattern where the position of the patterns are going to change. Edge stitch is slipped off. After that we are going to work 2 number of knit. Now the needle goes behind the 2 stitches. We draw up a loop, yarn forward, 2 number of purl. So you can very well see that the position of the pattern is changing. We pull up a loop, yarn forward, 2 number of purl, 1 and 2. Yarn backwards, 2 number of knit. That is being done on top of the pattern of the previous rows. Again, needle goes behind the 2 stitches. We draw up a loop, yarn forward, 2 number of purl, yarn backwards, 2 number of knit. So this is the sequence for the third row of the pattern. It is an easy pattern, beginners friendly, very easy to remember, and can be used in almost any of the projects. It is going to look equally good. Now the needle goes behind the 2 stitches. I draw up a loop, yarn forward, a purl and another purl, yarn backwards, 2 number of knit, and the edge stitch is also going to be a knit. So this is the third row of the pattern which has come to an end. Let us move on to the fourth row of the pattern. The edge stitch is slipped off. After that I am going to work 3 number of purl. That's the second and the third. Now the 2 stitches are huddled up together, which has to be purled together. After that 3 number of purl, 1, 2 and 3. Now the 2 stitches are again huddled up together, which has to be worked together. Now working 3 number of purl, then I am going to purl the 2 stitches together so as to balance the increased stitch. 3 number of purl and the 2 stitches are to be purled together. Again 3 number of purl, 1, 2 and 3. Now the 2 stitches are to be purled together. After that 2 number of purl, 1 and 2, and the edge stitch is also going to be a purl. So here the fourth row has come to an end. See how beautiful the pattern looks. So this particular pattern can be used in any of your upcoming projects. So friends, thank you for staying till the end. If you have liked the video, do give a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family members. If you are new to our channel, do consider subscribing and stay tuned for interesting videos. So till we meet again, it is bye bye for today.